Bombshell news in the TV business. A short time ago, we learned that tomorrow, Oprah Winfrey will announce she is quitting her talk show. The woman who became known as the queen of all media is moving on as of September 20th, 2000, or September, we don't know the exact date, 2011. That's after 25 seasons on the air. What exactly is she going to do next? Here now to help us answer all of our questions about this, Sharon Waxman, editor-in-chief of TheWrap.com. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Campbell.
So I know Oprah's going to tell us all of this tomorrow, but we can't wait.
Right.
So any indication about why she's doing this, why she's leaving? Is she just bored?
I think the short answer is 25 years on the air. And I think the longer answer probably is she wants to go out while she's on top. Because, you know, Oprah's influence is still huge, but her ratings are in decline. Like a lot of shows on over all sectors of television, especially on the broadcast networks, her ratings have been down. And so she might be looking out into the future and thinking, okay, I have 25 years put in here, I've got some other things I want to do, and it's a good time to go.
You wonder, though, I mean, those declines are sort of inevitable, though, when you think about it, given that the media has expanded, you know, so much so with cable news and everything else and the internet going on. I mean, you know, I guess, is that really a surprise in a way? I mean, would that be a reason for her to really leave?
Well, you know, it is, broadcast networks are still the biggest audience there is, but it's a much reduced audience. What we don't know is kind of what are some of the backdoor business dealings going on there, because is her show, which is fairly expensive for stations to buy from CBS or to license from CBS, is there as much enthusiasm for her show as there might have been a few years ago when you'd get bigger ratings, basically, before there was so much fragmentation of the audience. But the other big factor here, of course, is that Oprah is launching her own network called the Oprah Winfrey Network, which is supposed to launch next year, and which has had a rocky start in terms of getting the right people in the right places. And Oprah sent out one of her really key producers to head up the whole creative side of it about a month ago, and that sort of set off speculation that maybe Oprah was going to follow her. So what we don't actually know, she might leave Chicago. I talked to her spokesman just a little while ago, and he said, I said, is she going to stay in Chicago? He said, you know, we're just not going to talk about that. So he didn't say that she was going to stay in Chicago for sure. So that's pretty interesting. But she probably wants to put her shoulder behind getting this network launched, would be my guess.
Well, and you also have to wonder about the other ventures, because the Oprah empire is about a lot more than just this television show. I mean, it's her book club, the magazine. She produces movies, radio. But do you think that without the daytime show, without her having sort of that daily platform to a huge audience, does that have an impact on these other ventures? Do you think they'll suffer?
I think your point is really well taken. That daily platform, that daily contact with her fan base and her audience is really key. So what we don't know is where she'll land in terms of appearing on programming on her own network and how that network's going to take off. If it has a broad profile, and if she really is a presence on the air, then perhaps it can replace the daytime, that day-to-day presence that she really has, that contact that supports, as you say, her magazine, her publishing, her radio, her movie production. But that's a risk that she's taking, because that's a very hard thing to do, to launch a network. Not very many individuals have done that successfully, but she's
Oprah, I was going to say. But let me just, last question, Sharon, when you think about her show over the last 20 plus years, you know, from free cars to all the various weight loss programs she did, well, what's the real legacy of the show, do you think?
I think her legacy, to me, it feels like one of huge empowerment for women. I mean, there isn't another woman on the media landscape who has, or even on the entertainment landscape, period, who has the kind of influence and respect and pure financial firepower that Oprah has. And I think that just her personal story, which is, you know, coming from poverty and abuse, to rise to the place, to take the place, and in a dignified way that she has in American culture, is something that will resonate over the years, whether she's on TV or not.